Good morning, students of this great citadel of learning, Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agogo, Nigeria. I welcome our 200 level students to the second semester General Nigerian Studies course, GNS204, titled Introduction to Entrepreneurship Skills. Students, at the end of this lecture, you are expected to be able to define effectively and appropriately sandal and shoemaking, as well as lasting process and what a footwear is. It is also expected that you are able to identify shoe parts in terms of the heels and the type of heels that are used in different types of shoes. You are also expected to be able to explain terminologies in sandal and shoe making production enterprise. Finally, the expectations are that you should be able to ascertain how shoes are made and how styles are also made, including shoe patterning through computer-aided designs and styles. To this extent, therefore, we should ask what the definition of sandal or shoemaking are. Sandal or shoemaking is the process of creating footwear either by hand or machines. Please note, sandal and shoemaking is the process of creating footwear either by hand or machines. It should be noted that formerly, sandal and shoes were made one at a time by hand. However, old-fashioned handcraft shoemaking has now been largely superseded and taken over in volume of shoes that are produced by industrial mass production of footwear, but not necessarily in quality, though in quantity. Also, not necessarily in terms of attention to details or craftsmanship. Those that are produced by machines now are actually produced in quantity and devoid or not in line with quality. It is still seen that in foreign climes, custom-made shoes, that is those that are made by hand, still has a lot of quality in them. I should let us know here as well, before we go ahead, that shoemaking is different from cobblers. When you say shoemaking, they are shoe manufacturers, they are shoe producers, they are shoe designers, and they produce various kind of shoes. Whereas cobblers are those who repair and mend shoes or footwear. Cobblers are those who repair and mend shoes or footwear. So they are largely different from shoemakers. So to those of you who see people on the street who carry a wooden craft bag and refer to them as shoemakers, you are making a very wrong claim, because the people you see on the street are only shoe menders and they are referred to as cobblers. But many of you refer to them as shoemakers. This is absolutely very, very wrong. Very, very wrong. Shoemakers are not cobblers. Shoemakers or cordwainers. Cordwainers. When I say cordwainers, they are shoemakers, not cobblers. C-O-R-D W-A-I-N-E-R-S, wainers. Cordwainers produce a range of footwear items. Can you hear that? Cordwainers or shoemakers produce a range of footwear. Footwear is any item that is worn on the foot to protect the foot. So, shoemakers or cordwainers produce a range of footwear items, including shoes, boots, B-O-O-T-S, sandals, clogs, and moccasins. And such items are generally made of leather, wool, rubber, wood, plastic, jute, and other plant materials, which often consist of multiple parts for better durability of the sole that are stitched to the leather upper. It is imperative to differentiate between cordwainers and cobblers. Cordwainers or shoemakers produce range of shoes, while cobblers are those who repair shoes. Historically, shoemaking has been a handicraft limited to time-consuming production by hand. The production of wooden shoes was widespread in medieval Europe. Let me take that again. I said historically, shoemaking has been a handicraft limited to time-consuming production by hand. And I said the production of wooden shoes was widespread in medieval Europe. The production of wooden shoes was widespread in medieval Europe. Shoes were made from a single piece of wood, roughly cut into shoe form. A variant of this form was the clog. When of the clog, which were wooden soles to which a leather upper was attached. When you say clog are those shoes that make noise. They have wooden soles to which a leather upper was attached. Are we there? The sole and the heel were made from one piece of maple. Maple is M-A-P-L-E, or hash, which are 2 inches thick and a little longer and broader than the desired size of shoe. The outer side of the sole and heel was fashioned with a long chisel-edged implement. What we are trying to describe here is a clog, the shoe that you call clogs. Excuse me. The outer side of the sole and heel were fashioned with a long chisel edge implement called the clogger's knife or stock. Now please note here that when we say what is a clogger's knife or stock, it means a long chisel edge implement used in fashioning out the outer side of the sole of a shoe. While the second implement, called the groover, Groover, called the groover, made a groove around the side of the sole. It should also be noted that by the 1600s, leather shoes came in two types. The first one is turn shoes, Turn shoes, which consisted of one tiny flexible sole, which was sewed to the upper. And this type was used for making slippers and smaller shoes. The second type of the shoes are those which united the upper with an insole, which was subsequently attached to an outsole with a raised heel. This was the main variety that was used for most footwear, including standard shoes and riding boots. The traditional shoemaker will measure the feet and cut out upper leathers. Upper is the part where you slide your foot inside when you are wearing your shoe. That is the upper, the leather upper. This type, the traditional shoemaker will measure the feet and cut out the upper leather according to the required size. These parts were fitted and stitched together, stitched, S-T-I-T-C-H, stitched together, and the sole was next assembled. And this consists of a pair of inner shoes of soft leather, a pair of outer soles of firmer texture, firm, to make it firm, so that it doesn't wear out easily, firmer texture, a pair of welts, W-E-L-T-S, or bands, about 1 inch broad, of flexible leather. The insole was then attached to a last that was made of wood, which was used to form the shoe. Now that we said the upper, the insole, and the sole were stitched together, it then means that the process of stitching them together must have a name. And that takes us to lasting process. Lasting process. The lasting process is a procedure of securing the leather upper to the sole with tacks. When we say tacks, T-A-C-K-S, fasteners, F-A-S-T-E-N-E-R-S, fasteners. Yes, the lasting process is a procedure through which the leather upper is secured to the sole with tacks. The soles were then hammered into shape, the heel lifts were then attached with wooden pegs. Then we go to finishing operation in sandal shoemaking. Finishing operation in sandal and shoemaking included the following: 1. Rasping, R-A-S-P-I-N-G. 2. Strapping, S-C-R-A-P-P-I-N-G, strapping. 3. Blacking, B-L-A-C-K-I-N-G, B-U-R-N-I-S-H-I-N-G. 4. Burnishing, B-U-R-N-I-S-H-I-N-G. 5. Sandpapering, sandpapering, sand, S-A-N-D, dash, papering, P-A-P-E-R-I-N-G, using of sandpapers. This is to smoothen the leather. After that, number 6, drawing, D-R-A-W-I-N-G. Are we there? These 6 processes are the finishing operations in sandal and shoe making. Shoemaking became much more commercialized in the mid-18th century as it expanded as a cottage industry. Large warehouses began to stock footwear, and in warehouses made by many small manufacturers of that era. Also, old-fashioned shoemakers still exist today, especially in the poorer parts of the world, as they create and produce custom shoes. Generally, the modern machinery used included die-cutting tools to cut shapes and grommet machines to punch holes for lacing. Students, don't forget that we are still on shoe production and sandal production enterprises, which I said is a veritable means of generating income for would-be entrepreneurs in shoe and sandal making. Next, we go to famous shoemakers and their origins. Famous shoemakers in the world and their origins. Number 1, Raymond Lewis. Raymond Lewis, R-L-E-W-I-S. This is a shoemaker who invented loafer designs of shoes. Loafer, L-O-A-F-A-R. Many of you say, I want to wear loafers. Yeah. Raymond Lewis invented and designed the loafer shoes. The second person is Will Smith. Will Smith also is a shoemaker who invented the loafer designs of shoes. The loafer designs of shoes. Number 3, Hans Sachs. H-A-N-S-S-A-C-H-S. And Sachs is a German poet who is also a designer and producer of various types of shoes. Number 4, Salvatore Capezio. Salvatore Capezio is the founder and manufacturer of Dan's shoes. Dan's, the ones you wear at dance halls. Salvatore Capezio. The next one is Salvatore Ferragamo. Salvatore Ferragamo is the founder and manufacturer of Dan's shoes. Salvatore Ferragamo is an Italian shoe designer of various types, while Salvatore Capezio is the founder and designer of Dan's shoes. Jimmy Coo. Jimmy Coo is a Malaysian Chinese of Chinese origin fashion designer that is based in London. Next one is Christian Louboutin. Christian Louboutin is a French footwear designer of various types of shoes. Lastly, Daniel Day-Lewis is an actor who apprenticed as a shoemaker and is also a designer of shoes. Having informed you or acquainted you with different shoe designers and producers all over the world, it is apt for us to then define what a footwear is. We have been mentioning footwear since, but it is apt for us to define what a footwear is. The footwear can be defined as garments that are worn on the feet. Take it. The footwear can be defined as garments that are worn on the feet, and their main purpose is to protect the feet. Presently, footwear has become a vital component of fashion accessories, although their basic purpose remains that of protection, adornment, or defining style statements has become their additional and significant function. There are many types of footwear: shoes, boots, sandals, slippers, etc. Footwear are further categorized into many types. However, shoes on their own are further also divided into many categories, such as athletic shoes for athletic activities, which are known as sneakers, galoshes. When I say galoshes, galoshes, high heels, stiletto heels, kitten heels, I didn't say kitchen, no, kitten, Kitten, kitten heels, lace-up shoes, high tops, loafers, platforms, spikes, school shoes, and many others. Shoemaking can be considered as a traditional handcraft profession. It should also be noted now that shoemaking has been largely taken over by industrial manufacturing of footwear. Thus, with the development of modern technology, a pair of shoes can be made in far less time, as each step in the process is generally performed by a separate footwear making machine, unlike in the medieval times. Identification of sandal or shoe pads. Before explaining the shoemaking process further, it is necessary to identify the different parts of shoes and sandals. Number one, the bottom of the shoe that makes contact with the soil is called the sole. The interior bottom of a shoe, which sits directly beneath the foot and does not touch the soil, is called the insole. Insole. I-N-SOLE. Insole. The layer of the shoe that is in direct contact with the ground is called the outsole. Outsole. The raised parts under a boot or shoe supporting same part of the human foot is called the heel. Heel. Shoe heel. Many of you know it, the part of the shoe that is raised, that makes contact with the soil. The layer that lies between the outsole and the insole for shock absorption. Yes, the place that gives cushioning effect is called midsole. Midsole is the layer that lies between the outsole and the insole for shock absorption. Upper, upper, the part that is above the sole, where you slide your foot into, is called the upper, upper. The next one is the vamp, vamp. The vamp is the section which covers the side of the foot, the side of the foot lacing, which covers the ankle and the instep. Vamp, the section which covers the side of the foot lacing, which also covers the ankle and the instep. The instep is the upper part of your foot, just before the ankle. The shank, S-H-A-N-K, shank. Shank is the part of the sole of the shoe between the heel and the ball. Between the heel and the ball. You see, you have your heel, the part there that goes between the heel and the ball. Where you have the ball is the part of your foot that is depressed, slightly depressed, is the place that you have the ball. And there in some shoes, there are cushions in the insole that fill the ball up. The next one is throat of the vamp. Throat of the vamp. Throat of the vamp. Throat of the vamp. This is the part which curves around the lower edge of the top when where the lacing starts. Where the lacing starts. The next one is backstay. Backstay. Backstay is the term that is used to denote a strip of leather that is covering and strengthening the back seat of the shoe. Backstay. The next one is quarter. Quarter. Quarter is the term that is used mostly in low shoes to denote the rear part of the upper when a full vamp is not used. Tip, tip, T-I-P, tip. This is the toe piece of a shoe. The toe piece, toe, T-O-E, toe piece of a shoe stitched to the vamp and outside of the vamp. Next one is lace stay. Lace stay. Lace stay. This is the term used to denote a strip of leather reinforcing the eyelet of the eyelet holes. Lace stay is a term used to denote a strip of leather reinforcing the eyelet holes. Are we there? The next one is the tongue. Yes, shoe also has tongue. It's a narrow strip of leather used on all lace shoes to protect the instep from the lacing and the weather. Yes, it is always a small piece of leather that is underneath where the lace goes through. It's called the tongue. Foxing, the next one, foxing, F-O-X-I-N-G. The name applied to leather of the upper that extends from the sole to the laces in front and is often cut down to the shank in circular form. If in two pieces, that part covering the counter is called heel fox. Overlay. Overlay is the term that applies to leather attached to the upper part of the vamp of his slippers. Overlay. Breast. Yeah, shoe breast. This is the inner part of the heel. That is the section nearest the shank. Yes, you see, the place where your foot rests. Finally, in there, the inner part of the heel. That is where your foot heel, where it rests. Okay, that is the breast. It's nearest the shank. It is imperative here that we have explained terminologies. You can see about 15 different terms that can be found in just one shoe. Just one shoe, not a pair, just one, has about 15 different parts. So all these are essential for a potential agripreneur in shoe and sandal making production enterprise. And this is precisely what we have done, so that at least you have an idea of where and what you want to go into. Let us then, at this point, also look into standard measure for shoe heel height. Standard measure for shoe heel height. Many of us put on shoes, and it is important for us to know the standard measure for the height of shoes that we put on. The standard measure for heel height are as follows. 1. 8/8. This is a low heel shoe, and this height is called 1 inch high. 1 inch high. The next one is 16/8. This is a medium heel shoe, and the height is 2 inches. Don't forget, the first one has 1 inch height because it is 8/8, and we said it's a low heel shoe. The third one is 24/8 measure, standard measure. And this is a high heel shoe, and the height is 3 inches. The height is 3 inches. Having mentioned something about standard measure of shoe heel heights, it is also necessary for us to study the major types of shoe heels. Major types of shoe heels. Major types of shoe heels. We have 6 different types of shoe heels. 6 different types of shoe heels. And these include 1. The Louis or French shoe heel. When I say Louis, L-O-U-I-S. Louis. This features a curved back type of shoe heel, and it ranges in height from 16/8 to 24/8. That is from 2 inches to 3 inches height. The second one is Baby Louis. Baby Louis. It has the same shape, that is a curved back heel, but the height is 12/8. That is, it is shorter than 2 inches, slightly above 1 inch, but lesser than 2 inches. The next one is built heel. Built. This was created from layers of leather or fiber with contrasting tones. The next one is continental shoe heel. This is a higher heel with little or no curvature, and it's tapered at the bottom, usually medium height, that is 16/8, what literally means it is 2 inches high. The next one is stacked shoe heels. Stacked, S-T-A-C-K-E-D. This is similar to built heel, but typically it can be created from synthetic and leather materials. It is often found on spectator shoes. Wedge shoe heel. Wedge, W-E-D-G-E, W-E-D-G-E, wedge. This is a heel that is as wide as the shoe itself, and it follows the shoe's contour from toe to heel. I understand you know what I mean. The heel is continuous from the shoe tip until the point where you have the heel, the terminal point of the shoe, where you have the backstay. That is, it's a continuous heel. Shoemaking process. Shoemaking process. The process of shoemaking involves the following: securing the upper parts, that is the bottom part, the wood board, securing the upper parts with the sole using the following: wood board, fiber board, tail, Denver board, shaping the leather, gumming, Dunlop gum, insole, cushion, threading, rivets, buckle, etc. Yes, we are securing all of the leather, the upper, that is the leather upper, the insole, the outsole, and the heel together using the wood board, the fiber board, the Denver board, the shaping, the knife, the scissors, the gum, the threading, the rivets, and as well as the buckles. All of these together. Please note that footwear manufacturing has 4 main units in which a progressive route is followed for producing finished shoes. And the units of footwear manufacturing that we are discussing and that has to be followed include: number 1, cutting or closing or machining. Number 1, we said it's the process, the units of footwear manufacturing has 4 main units. The first one is clicking or cutting. 1, clicking, leather clicking or leather cutting. The second one is the second one is closing or machining. Closing or machining. While the third one is lasting and making. Lasting and making. While the last one is the finishing. Please note the 4. Clicking or cutting, 1. Closing or machining, 2. Lasting and making, 3. While number 4 is finishing. Those are the 4 units of shoemaking. The 4 units. 4 units of shoemaking. Cutting, closing, or machining. Cutting, clicking, cutting, closing, or machining. Number 1. Lasting and making. Number 2. Finishing. Are we there? Footwear manufacturers has mainly 4 units, which is a progressive route. That is, one will lead to the other. Clicking or cutting, that is 1. Closing or machining, 2. Lasting and making, 3. Then 4 is finishing. 4 is finishing. Clicking or cutting unit, 1. In this unit, the top part of the shoe, that is the upper, is made. The clicking operation is given skins of leather, mostly cow leather, but not restricted to this type of leather alone. And using metal strip knives, the worker cuts out pieces of various shapes that will make the form of the uppers. This operation needs a high level of skill, as expensive leather should not be wasted as much as possible. Leather may also have various defects on the surface, such as barbed wire scratches, which must be avoided because such scratched surfaces are not suitable for uppers. The second unit, clicking or machining unit. In this unit, the component pieces are sewn together by highly skilled machinists so as to produce the completed upper. This work is divided into shapes, into stages. In early stages, the pieces are sewn together on the flat machine. In the later stages, when the upper part is no longer flat and has become 3-dimensional, the machine called post machine is used. The sewing surface of the machine is elevated on a post to enable the operative to sew the 3-dimensional upper together. Various edge treatments are also done onto the leather for giving an attractive look in the finished upper. At this stage only, the eyelets are also inserted in order to accommodate the laces in the finished shoes. Number 3, lasting and making unit. In the lasting and making unit, the completed uppers are molded into shape of a foot with the help of a last. What is a last? A last is a plastic shape that stimulates the foot shape. It is later removed from the finished shoe to be used further in making other shoes. Firstly, an insole to the bottom of the last is attached. It is only a temporary attachment. Sometimes, mostly, when welted shoes are manufactured, the insole has rib attached to its under edge. The upper is stretched and molded over the last and attached to the insole rib. After the procedure completes, a lasted shoe is obtained. Now the welt. This is a strip of leather or plastic sewn onto the shoe through the rib. Footwear design, pattern making. and size grading can be done using the software in different ways. And under this aspect, we will be talking about computer-aided pattern or patterning of shoes. Number one, digitizing of patterns and cuts. This is the easiest solution. Among the advantages is the fact that it is fast for anyone who just want to cut out graded pieces of upper and lining. It is very simple software, useful for size grading as well. It has some disadvantages though. For example, for every new item, a new digitizing is required. And depending on the amount of pieces that will make less or more time to engineer and cut by continuous cutting machine, there is no possibility of rebuilding the standard by assembling the digitized pieces because they have been made by hand and then copied just to be considered as a file. So it will not be possible to change the shape of the pieces if variation of style is required. That is the disadvantage. The only solution will be to make the pieces by hand and re-digitize them again. The second, computer-aided design, digitizing of the standard pattern making and size grading. This is the most complete way of working by the 2D system, that is two-dimensional system, two digital system. The project is designed by hand and digitized pattern making is obviously consequent, and any change of the style will automatically change the patterns made. The size grading is covered in any aspect, and the connection between the standard and the pieces will reflect in the graded sizes as well. Some software also give possibility of swapping styles from one standard to another. This is quite different from the first one, where style changing is impossible. You have to digitize. But under this, digitizing the standard pattern making and size grading, this means that size changing can also always be done. Number three, digitizing the last, flattening standard making through the 3D design, pattern making and size grading. This is what a complete 3D software can make and assist the updated designer or technician. Nowadays, the solution is not in the footwear industry because they prefer 2D software. It is easier and faster, but only because of these aspects. The main challenge faced some years ago has to do with difficulty in obtaining high quality of digitized last. Ladies and gentlemen, our students here, we also have to let you know that at this juncture, it is important for us to give you leather and shoemaking terminologies. Leather and shoemaking terminologies. And for examination purpose, it is better for us to pay attention and critically put our hearts and minds to this. Leather and shoe terms. Aglet, A-G-L-E-T, number one, aglet, one. This is the plastic sheet, S-H-E-A-T-H, at the end of a shoelace. That's your shoelace, the plastic sheet, that hardened plastic sheet at the end of the shoelace that allows it to go into the eyelet is called aglet. The plastic sheet at the end of a shoelace, which makes the lace easier to thread through the eyelet holes of a shoe, is called aglet, A-G-L-E-T. Number two, ankle strap. It's a strap attached at the rear of a shoe that encircles the ankle. Usually, it features an adjustable buckle or elastic, that is ankle strap. The next one, number 3, ankle wrap. Ankle wrap. These are straps that are meant to be wrapped around and tied around the ankle for stylish accent. It's just for style, ankle wrap. The next one is ankle boot. Ankle boot. This is the footwear that covers the whole foot and ankle. Footwear that covers the whole foot and ankle. Normal shoe will not get to your ankle, but the one that covers the whole foot and the ankle is called ankle boot. The next one is apron toe. Apron toe. This is a type of characterized, these types is a type of toe, of shoe toe, characterized by a large overlay that covers the front of the toe and has visible edges or stitching. And apron toe, a type of toe characterized by a large overlay that covers the front of the toe and has visible edges or stitching. Assembling. That's number 6. Apron toe, number 5. Ankle boot, number 4. Assembling, number 6. This includes the following operations as stated: tacking the insole to the last, putting in the box and counter of the shoe, and putting the upper of the shoe on the last. This is called assembling. Assembly. When you assemble your insole to the last and you put the inbox and the counter of the shoe on the upper, and the insole and the upper, as well as the midsole, yes, as well as the midsole. The three of them together, when you last them, you are assembling. Don't forget that lasting process is the process through which the upper is attached to the sole through the last. And the last itself is the plastic that stimulates, that looks like the foot on which the upper is attached to make your shoe look exactly the way it should. Number 7. Back seam. Back seam. Seam is S-E-A-M. Back seam. This is the vertical seam at the back of the shoe or boot. Ball. Number 9. B-A-L-L. Number 9. This is the padded area of the foot between the big toe and the arc of the foot. That's the ball. Backstay. This is a term that is used to denote a strip of leather or covering and strengthening the back seam of a shoe. English backstay means the strip of leather that melts the quarters on each side and is sewn to them, forming the lower part of the shoe. Backstrap. Backstrap. This is the strap by which the shoe is pulled on the foot. Bidding. B-E-A-D-I-N-G. Bidding. Bidding means folding in the edges of the upper leather instead of leaving them raw. Yes, the upper leather has been cut. The edges now, folding them in so that the rough edges does not, show up. That is called bidding. The next one is beating out. Beating out. B-E-A-T-I-N-G out. Beating out. This is the same as leveling. It is the term used in torn shoe work when you went to level the leather, to smoothen the leather, beating it because it may not be smooth. Then you beat it out using hammer and other shoemaking tools. The other one is belting, belting, B-E-L-T-I-N-G. The term applied to usual back tanned cowhide, used in various thickness for machinery belts. Bellows tongue, bellow, B-E-L-L-O-W-S, bellows tongue, your tongue, T-O-N-G-E, a shoe tongue that is attached at both the toe and sides of the shoe. Assignment here. Students are advised to work on the terminologies of shoe and sandal making production enterprise and get same ready as they will be tested on such. There will be a quiz on such terminologies used in sandal and shoemaking enterprise, and the students are expected to please Google search terminologies, about 60 or 70 terminologies used in shoe and sandal making. And we expect that by next class, we shall talk about this. I want to thank you very much for listening, while I wish you a much more fruitful week ahead. Please note, as I said much earlier in my first class, that there will be practical session involving students from the different faculties, and I said students from the College of Engineering and Environmental Studies, Ibogun campus, will be working on electrical sockets with a minimum cable. The cable of the sockets, of the electrical sockets, must not be less than 3 meters. Must not be less than 3 meters. Actually, 5 meters are actually okay for us. It should be 5 meters. Engineer Adetifa will take charge of that at Ibogun. At Ayetoro campus, Yewa campus Ayetoro, students are expected to work on tie and dye. And my very good self, Abayomi Bada, and Mrs. Bemi Aderele of the Department of Home and Hotel Management, Home Science and Hospitality Management, HSHM, will be involved. So students of Ayetoro campus are advised to see Mr. Abayomi Bada, the lecturer here, and Mrs. Aderele of the Home Science and the Hospitality Management Department, Yewa campus Ayetoro. Main campus Agoewe. Faculty of Science students will be producing leather sandals and slippers. Faculty of Arts, leather sandals and slippers. Faculty of Education, leather sandals and slippers. Faculty of Arts, leather sandals and slippers. All students in main campus will produce leather sandals and slippers And we advise 5 students are to produce a pair which will be graded and scored as appropriate. The score for the production of these leather sandal and slippers at the main campus is 60 marks. Also, the scores for electrical sockets at Ibogun is 60 marks, while the scores for tie and dye at Ayetoro and Shagamu campuses, students from BMS in Shagamu, medicine, BMS, clinical sciences at Shagamu, and pharmacy, 3 faculties from there will be producing tie and dye alongside Yowa campus Ayetoro. All students from the main campus, sciences, arts, education, will produce sciences, arts, education, and law will produce sandals and leather slippers. 5 students to produce 1. You are advised to see students at the main campus, main campus, are advised to see Mr. Abiola Ajasa for further clarifications. I thank you all for your attention. God bless you. Have a beautiful week ahead. Have a very good day. Thank you all. God bless.